Back again. This video is more serious than my other videos, so trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about abuse in this video. I'm going to be talking about suicide in this video. I'm going to be talking about some serious trigger warnings, so if none of that's for you, then this video is not for you. Don't worry, I upload tons of content, obviously. This is going to be about my relationship, my last relationship with my ex, because even though it's hard for me to still talk about, and I haven't went to therapy or anything, I do want to learn more about abuse, especially domestic abuse, and I really want to help women understand, first of all, what mentally, you go through, because it really, batters you down, and also Stockholm Syndrome is very real, and the guilt from that can, really eat you up. So I want to help women with that, and also, obviously, getting out of those situations is extremely tough, and usually you have to start completely over, and that's not, that's hard. It's unbelievably hard. In the moment, you just imagine right now leaving everything and just going somewhere you don't know where. You have no, plan or backup plan, because we'll get into that. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, I met Celia's dad when I was 16, and this is not about him, by the way. He's always been very sweet to me and never ever put his hands on me. I used to be crazy. He met me when I was still going through puberty, so we dated for about 6 years, almost 6 years, and then the last time that he went to jail, I started dating, and Celia went to the babysitters on the weekends, so on the weekends I would go out with my friends or whatever, and my version of dating was, nothing serious, because I had just, me and her father were always, on and off. It was, complicated anyway, and I didn't want to introduce anyone to Celia, so I didn't want to get attached to anybody, so I would just go out on the weekends, nothing serious, and I didn't really meet people on social media, because I just, I'm a very sketchy person. I'm very paranoid, and I don't trust anybody. I think everybody is out to get me, and I am too trusting of a person. Once I like you, I like you. So, I don't know, I don't like to talk to people. I don't really know who you are. I have to at least catch the vibe in person first. So, one day this guy messages me a corny, "How you doing?" And, I wouldn't normally reply to that, but, something about him caught my eye right away. That it was toxicity, because that's what your girl likes, I guess. Horrible choice of men, but, So, we talked a couple days on Facebook, and, one of the weekends came up where I was gonna go out, and he said that he was 19, so he couldn't go out, but, if I wanted to go there and hang out for a little bit before I went home, he invited me to do that. So, the first night that I met him, I was not only tipsy, but I went there to smoke some devil's lettuce with him and his brother. So, we went in their garage, and I felt comfortable. He was really shy, which I'm into. I like people really shy, because I'm really outgoing. It gives me a chance to talk without you trying to interrupt me. I can just, and you're just, too scared to say anything. Why won't she shut up? So, we hung out that first night, and me and his brother actually talked a lot more than me and him did because he was so shy and I talk a lot. So, but he thought I was interested in his brother when that wasn't even the case. I thought he was super cute. I don't know why. Like, I'm also a shy guy, so like it was just super cute. And like pretty much just fell in love like first couple times hanging out, and we didn't do anything. Like, we just smoked and like awkwardly, like, I think I waited for a hug before I left. He didn't even give me a hug the first time I left. He was just like, oh, I'm too scared. And and so like the third time we hung out, or the fourth time, I had went out and got really drunk. I was like drinking. It was not good. I don't even drink anymore. Like, I maybe go out once every like couple months and I'll like socially drink with my coworkers or something, but I don't drink anymore. Anyway, probably because of this. So I got like pretty drunk with my friend, and we had a DD, and I had the DD drop me off at his house, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna stay the night with you, and girl. So you can already imagine what happened that night that I stayed there, and this was in the winter time, but before December, so like before his birthday. So I'm thinking this dude's about to turn 20. Like, that's young. I'm already robbing the cradle, you know, and he's telling me, you know, like I'm 19, whatever. And we're talking every day, you know, chilling. I've already like, you know. So one day I'm looking through Snapchat, and of course I watch all his Snapchats because we're talking, like, duh. I'm not crazy. So, going through Snapchats, and he's like posted something from his grandma. Ooh, he screenshotted something from his grandma and posted it on his Snapchat, and it was like, happy 18th birthday, his name. And we'll call him A. So happy birthday, A. And I was just like, I'm sorry, happy 18th birthday. And I'm like, his grandma's gotta have dementia. His grandma just thinks he's still 18. That's definitely gotta be what it is. His grandma. So I texted him, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? And he just texts back like 4 laughing emojis, and it's just like, ah. And I was like, just completely cut him off. Was so offended and like, took notes. He was guilt tripping me about like how he fell in love with me, and I can't just like cut him off, and he didn't know how to tell me the truth, and like I should give him a second chance. That's another red flag. Like, he shouldn't have guilt tripped me into doing something that I wasn't comfortable doing, and of course my dumb ass fell for it. So, you know, I think I'm talking to him again and like rebuilding the trust and getting that back on track, and should not have been. Started going back over to his house, started hanging out. Eventually it got to the point where we wanted to be around each other every day, but I had Celia. So one day I had the next one on, like, don't sponsor me, hashtag next one on sucks. And I wanted to get it out, and I'm a single mom. Her dad was in jail, so I was like, well, I don't have anyone to go with me and like watch her while I get this taken out. And he was like, well, I'll go with you and watch her. And I'm like, you've never even met her. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to take that step, but like, I really did think I loved him. So I let him meet my kid. Everything went so well. She loved him. That was like the worst thing ever. Like, horrible mistake ever. Like, okay, anyway. So they got along great, and after that, like shortly after that, we were hanging out every day, and then I was living with my dad at the time, and he drinks a lot. So he came home drunk again. We argued, and he kicked me out, just like flat out. Single mom with a kid, just like get out. So I had nowhere to go. I didn't know where to go or who to call. So who do I call but A? And A's like, yeah, you can move in with me. Like, just bring all your stuff, come here. Like, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. So that's when the real trouble started. And I had an old friend from high school that I used to go out with and like wingman and drink with all the time. Like, we seriously were friends. Like, we were just friends. One night we both got belligerently drunk and like did the nasty, and we both regretted it. We both admitted that we like were never gonna do it again. Like, it was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened, you know, whatever. I didn't really remember. It was like not good. It was something that should have never happened. And we continued going out after that, strictly platonic, and everything was fine. And one day he texted me, and I wasn't ever gonna go get drinks with him, but I'm not a person that just like says no. So like when people invite me, I'm like, oh, I'll think about it, or I'll check my schedule or something. But really, I'm already thinking in my head like, no, I'm not gonna do this, which is wrong, but like that's what I do. So that's what I did with him. And as soon as I moved in, A started checking my phone on a regular basis. So he's going through my phone constantly. I don't care because I have nothing to hide, so I didn't see this as a problem. And so he comes like I'm outside, I think. I can't really remember. This was a while ago. And this was the first like super red, not a red flag, it was a red house. Like, a red house slammed down on me. Like he called me inside and he starts just yelling, like going off. And it's about this guy that I texted that I made plans with, that he's like talking about quitting his job because I rescheduled to when he was going to work, and I was cheating on him while he was going to work, and just a bunch of craziness. And I'm just like, whoa, like, I didn't even think it was like, I didn't think that far into it. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. Like, I was never going to go. And he's like, you're lying. You've been cheating on me. Like, it was crazy. It was the first red house. And I'm like, whew. But mind you, now I'm in this situation. He knows that I'm trapped now. Like, I don't have friends or family at this point. Like, I'm on my last end. And I'm a single mom and a waitress. So I barely make enough, like, I'm not even gonna house store you. I live in a very small little apartment. Like, this is what I can afford in Virginia as a single mom and a waitress. So he starts like not trusting me and thinking that I'm cheating, and all the time like he's checking like everything, like my texts, what I like on Facebook, what I like on Instagram, like things that I share. He's like texting me nonstop. When I go to work, I have to text him nonstop. And if I don't text back quick enough, I'm cheating on him. Or I left work, I'm not really at work, so I had to send pictures constantly to prove where I was. And like, I couldn't go out with friends. Like, my friend is really smart, my best friend. I don't know if I should say her name or not. I won't. My best friend since like junior year of high school is like super smart, and she came over and she knows me very well. We are like really tight. Like, she knows me. And she came over and was showing me her new puppy, and she's like, do you want to go to the Green Turtle or something? I was supposed to go somewhere with her, the store, maybe Walmart. And I'm like, let me go ask. Like, before I could think about it, I'm like, let me go ask A. And she looked at me like, ask? Like, are you a child? Are you his child? And I was just like, yeah, that's not good that I have to do that. And then usually he would say no, which was super embarrassing. I had a friend over twice while I lived there, and both times he really embarrassed me bad. Like, just started flipping out in front of them, cursing me out, and treating me like a dog right in front of my friends. It was really embarrassing. So it got bad that way. And then at the same time, I was already thinking, like, I have got to get out of here. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I have to plan something. And any person I would text or try to connect to, he would block it off. Like, he would cut me off from everybody and make sure, like, when we had really bad fights, I would say that I was either gonna call my dad or call the cops or do whatever, and he would take my phone and just break it. I broke 2 or 3 phones while I was there. And I was going to insert something. So I'm going to pause the video because I have something to insert. No. Yes, that's the time that he, I wasn't talking to him. Like, this is a little skipping ahead, but I was just going to insert it there because I couldn't remember what I wanted to talk about. But, when I first left, the first time, he came to my job, my actual workplace, and is asking me to talk to him, and then later on texted me and said he had a knife on him, and then my coworker said that he flashed a knife to them. So I don't think he really wanted to talk to me, but so yeah, he started getting more and more aggressive with me, and our fights started becoming more and more consistent, and I was trying to plan to leave, but he wasn't allowing me to leave, and it was getting really, really bad, and it was like becoming a consistent thing where it was just like he would start a fight over nothing, and it would escalate so bad, and it would be all day. Like, we would just fight all day about nothing. And I wanted somebody else. He wasn't good enough. I wanted somebody else. He was going to kill himself. It was always he was going to kill himself. Like, he said that all the time. And then one time I decided I was going to tell him I was going to my dad's for like the weekend and was just going to start staying there a few days to give us time apart. And I was slowly moving important stuff from his house to my dad's house, like one bag at a time. And one day he was like, well, I want to come with you. And I was just like, I just want to go to my dad's. And he was like, well, I want to come with you. And I'm like, well, maybe it won't be so bad at my dad's. So we got there, and my dad wasn't home, and he wanted to go through my phone again, and went upstairs and found condoms, old condoms that I had in my room, I think. He's pissed about something, and comes running down the stairs, and I'm sitting on a recliner, just like rocking, because that's my thing. And he just like grabs me by my hair and starts like hitting me in the head. And I just was like floored because I didn't know, like I had not been expecting that at all. But he's not very big, like A's not very big. So like it never was like, I think that's why I didn't take it very seriously, because Stockholm Syndrome is very real. And I really did think that I loved him. And it wasn't like toward the point where I feared for my life, or even the point where he gave me like serious bruises. And then like, but I already knew I had to get away. Like that day he pushed me down and I broke my hand and pulled the main muscle in my foot. And I don't have a picture of it, but I have a picture of me. And then after that incident, like I went back to his house. I have no flippin' idea why. I think I was just so scared of what he would do if I actually left. And he started choking me and on his bed, and I really, really was so close to going out. And I started like using, I didn't have my fake nails on, but I have sharp nails, and I started digging my nails. I could only get so like I'm really short and my reach is not that long, but I was trying to get my fingers in his eyes, and they were kind of there. Like I couldn't gouge his eyes out, but I would have if I could have. But like I was definitely scratching his eyes, and all had my fingers in his mouth, and nothing was fazing him. Like I've never seen someone with such a crazy look in their eyes. Like I really thought I was gonna die. And so after that, shortly after that, I was like, I need to leave. Like I'm leaving. And we had the cops called, and so much stuff happened. Like, so much horrible things. And then I went back to my dad's. Actually, I was at work. He was watching Celia, I believe. And I had my coworker pick me up. I had my mom go get Celia and bring her to me, to my job. And then I went to my dad's house that night. And on Halloween, and I had been home for about a week, and he was threatening to kill himself every day, this, that, and the third. It was Halloween, and we walked around the block. Celia, of course, had to pee or poop. She had a poop emergency. Now, we were far away from any store. These were my three options. I could walk even further to a store. My house we had gotten blocks away from, or one block was A's dad's house. So I made an executive decision to take her to A's house. Well, of course, he wanted to talk to me, and I wanted her to be able to use the bathroom, so I had like 5 minutes I had to talk to him, and then it was an encounter when I had to leave. And then after that, he apparently attempted suicide and had taken like a lot of pills and had to go to the hospital. And then when he went to the hospital and his mom kind of explained to them what happened, he had to be sent to a mental hospital for about a month to go through like deep therapy and group sessions and everything like that. And he was put on antipsychotics and antidepressants, but he abused them when he got home. He didn't take them, he just abused them, and then he never went back to therapy or anything. So he really didn't gain anything from that. And thought that that was enough, like that he had done that, and the guilt trips really started then, because it was all my fault. I wasn't there for him. He could have died and I still wasn't there. I didn't care at all. And I really did feel so bad, because it worked. Like, it all worked on me. But I stayed away. Luckily, I stayed away because I was so scared. Because at the same time, the flip was switching, and he was like texting my dad this horrible stuff and lies about me, calling my dad nonstop, harassing him, calling me hundreds and hundreds of times a day, texting me, and I would block a number. He'd make a new number on the text app now. Whatever apps, he would make a new number, I'd block it, he'd make a new one like instantly, and just like completely just immobilize my phone. I could never use my phone because of how much it went off. And so he showed up to my job a couple times, he showed up to my dad's house a couple times. It was really scary. He was actively stalking me. And then I moved out of my dad's to where I am now. And it's in like a sketchier part of town, but like right by where he was working for a while, I guess. And so then he knew around where I lived and would sit outside apparently and watch for me. Luckily, he never figured out which room I was actually in. And I walked to the store one day with my kid. And I walk up to the store, I get her a toy, I come outside, I had this toy that I'm trying to put together for her. It was like a Spider-Man thing, I could not figure it out. And then I hear a familiar voice from behind me, like, calling for Celia. So I turn around, and it's his mom. And I'm like, oh, well, that's innocent enough. She always did love his mom, like a grandmother. So we walk up, and he comes out of the store, and my stomach just drops. And I'm like, and right in front of the store, right in front of his mother, right in front of my kid, and everyone, he just two-pieces me. I mean, harder than he's ever hit me before. And I'm going to include pictures of that from day 1 and like day 3, I think it was, after. But I finally did make it out, and I finally did get away and stayed away. And I did have moments of relapse in the Stockholm Syndrome where, like, I missed him. I texted him and played in his games again because, like, it is really, really bad. Like, that is why abused women stay. Like, no one understands the actual mental abuse and the way your brain copes. And a lot of the times your brain copes by falling in love with your abuser. And that's just it's Stockholm syndrome. It's very real, and it happens very often, and that's definitely what happened to me. But it just takes time. It just takes time and self-love, and staying away. Knowing that even if you have to start completely over and lose everything, like financially or materialistically, like, you came out with your life. Like, it just gets worse and worse and worse progressively, and women really do get killed. Like, I could have been killed a couple times. Like, he said that he sat outside my dad's house with a gun and watched me talk on the phone and smoke outside and, like, debated shooting me. Like, I really believe him, too. So you really just have to, like, wake up and realize, like, the severity of the situation. And you are loved and worth it. And you deserve better. But I figured I should talk about my experience and hopefully help one of you out there. Or at least maybe help someone understand a little bit. I love you guys, and I promise my new content won't be so serious. Alright, I love you guys. Please subscribe.